Okay, I'll be honest with you, as someone who was a bit of a bum and played AC Black Flag for more hours than I could count back in the day, the idea of another game from Ubisoft that revisits the pirate aspect really gave me a bulging rod on. It's something I've wanted for years, but instead we get Skull and Bones. After only a few hours played, it felt like torture recording gameplay for this video. I was literally desperate to turn this game off and uninstall it. This is not an exaggeration. As someone who loved Black Flag to death, this is my perspective on Skull and Bones and whether it's worth your time or not. As always, this is my 100% honest opinion. Some will agree, some will not, and I don't give a toss about what other videos say here on YouTube. Skull and Bones truly sucks. Here are 5 reasons why, which other videos might have missed. Number 1. Ship combat. Shockingly, ship combat in this game is literally copy and paste from Black Flag, but worse. It's your standard aim at enemy ships and spam the triggers, but this time we've got dreaded cooldowns, which seem to take so long, your nan's probably died in the meantime. It really disrupts the play, and what bollock gobbler came up with this idea? I mean, you can position your ship so you can use the cannons that aren't currently cooling down, but this means spinning your ship around all the time, like a dog chasing shit out its arse. The truth is, when you do shoot at ships, the animations look so lackluster. It never really feels like you're doing any serious damage, and ultimately, it doesn't give you any satisfaction. Combat becomes frustrating and tedious due to the boring weapons, annoying cooldowns, and this was no improvement since Black Flag. All they've done with ship combat is copy and paste, but taken out features and made it worse. There is no improvement here. All you do is blow up ships, which looks dog, get a cutscene, and that's basically it. Once you've done it a couple of times, you're going to be bored to tears. The added extra of you being online with players all the time doesn't really add anything, and it becomes annoying, especially when some donkey is in your way, so you gotta smash into them. Get out the way. To put it simply, if you play Black Flag, this will feel like a downgrade. Number 2. No boarding ships. So once you do twat a ship hard enough, you'll be asked whether you want to board it, which got me all excited. Boarding ships was literally my favourite thing to do back on Black Flag. Swinging overboard on a rope, getting into combat was unbelievable, and it felt like a movie. In Skull and Bones, this is what you get. A shitty, god-awful cutscene. You don't even get to board ships or get into any kind of sword fight combat, despite this being a pirate game. What the hell is this? This was the absolute best part of Black Flag, at least it was for me, and we don't even get to board any other ships. At least copy and paste this feature from Black Flag. Don't take it out. Even little things, like being able to walk around your own ship or go inside it, isn't possible. Why? So the only thing you can do is shoot cannons at ships. I mean, talk about fun. You can just imagine how quickly this gets old. Basically, at the same rate your nan's piss starts seriously chucking up. Or I suppose you could just sail around and listen to this god-awful singing that makes you want to slit your own throat, because that's way more fun than boarding ships. Number 3. Ship stamina. When exploring the sea, you will notice a dreaded stamina bar. So if you try caning it, this damn bar drains quicker than piss from a dick, so you can't just travel at full speed all the time, which massively sucks, especially when painfully recording gameplay. Those who hate stamina bars like me will hate this to death. And why the hell is this on a ship? I guess it represents your crew's stamina. I couldn't give a dick. Get in the gym, you bunch of cucks. Number 4. The open world. So, when you are bored of being on your ship, which happens very quickly, as discussed, what is there to do? As you come into dock, you'll be pleased to see a dreaded cutscene, with no option to dock your ship manually. Nah, cheers for that. At least, major attention to detail is a focus here. And as soon as you take your first step on land, it's instantly apparent the on-foot aspect was completely rushed with very little effort. I mean, look at this player movement. Your character literally looks like a pissed up spinning top. In terms of exploring, it's limited to tiny portions of land, which are just filled with shops. And despite watching a cutscene when docking, which loads up this tiny explorable area, some shops, which are inside buildings, still require another loading screen to go inside. First Starfield, now Skull and Bones. There is absolutely no excuse for for this. Starfield has hundreds of planets. This is just one boring portion of land filled with a ton of water. But to be honest, the added loading screen to enter a tiny building is the least of its problems. Exploring on foot is lackluster, and it consists of just walking about a small area, looking at munted up freaks. This doesn't really look like a current gen AAA game, does it really? There also isn't any on-foot combat like in AC Black Flag, despite this being a damn pirate game, which normally means using a sword, not just shooting at ships all day long. You only explore on land when you have to, whether it's because of a mission or needing to visit a shop. So the open world, if you would even call it that, is also terrible and stripped back compared to Black Flag, and you're just better off sticking to the sea and allowing your ears to piss with blood. But there has to be one saving grace for this game. Surely the story has to be half decent. Number 5, the story. Let's put it this way. Skull and Bones is so lazy, blacksmiths, you know the blokes who sell you stuff, are the ones who give you missions in this game. I'm not even joking here. It's that lazy, they can't even be asked to create a few interesting characters that can give you things to do. Instead, you're talking to shopkeepers. Eventually you do end up talking to actual characters in the game, but they were so boring I couldn't even tell you their names. Missions consist of robbing loot from ships, picking up loot from the other side of the map, and that type of boring bollocks. I'm sure you've done similar missions in other games in the past. It's all filler content. It really has nothing unique to offer and no interesting or revolutionary ideas. The story, if you'd even call it one, is just as bad as everything else and has no redeeming qualities. I mean, it is kind of hard to make interesting missions when all you've got is stripped back ship combat and segments where you explore tiny portions of the map with character movement like a fucking turnstile. So should you play Skull and Bare Bones? Yeah, that's right, Bare Bones. That should be the title. And by the way, what sort of title is this? Skull and Bones. It sounds so half-arsed. Surely they could have come up with a better title than that. Should you play Skull and Bones? Surprisingly, this is where I give Ubisoft massive credit. They do offer an 8-hour free trial for this game, which I thought was quite generous. So if you were a fan of Black Flag, or just like the look of this game, get the free trial downloaded now, so you can experience just how bad this is without spending $50 of your hard-earned cash. You'll likely uninstall it and load up the old Black Flag again. But seriously, I would not recommend even thinking of buying this game. After a long think, I cannot come up with a single thing this game does better than Black Flag. Or maybe I'm just being too harsh here. Comment down below your thoughts, I would love to see. And now this video is over, swat that off and let's get this loaded up. If you enjoyed AC4 back in the day, smash the like button. Let's see how many of you are watching. And if you thought that was terrible, if you would like to find out whether Starfield is finally worth playing many months after release, make sure to click the card on screen. You don't want to miss this video. Thanks for watching as always, and have a great rest of your day.